Hello, dear Glorians of Standard 7. Today we will be learning a new chapter, that is the muscular system and digestive system in human beings. Let us start with the introduction of the muscular system first. So, as you can see, girls, over here, there are two questions given for you all. First question is, what is meant by organ system? So the answer to this question, girls, I guess you already know it. What is an organ system? We have learned about it in the previous class where we studied about cells. Cells form tissues, tissues forms organ, and organs form organ system. So I hope you know what is an organ system. And coming to the second question that says, how are the bones in our body joined? So here, girls join to each other. So basically, the question is, I am repeating again, how are the bones in a body joined to each other? So you might wonder that how we can move our hands, or how can we move our legs so easily, and how come there are different bones when you will feel your hands or your legs or your fingers, then how come all of these bones join together to form a structure because of which we are able to move our hand, we are able to walk around? So the answer to this question you will study ahead in the chapter. Okay, so firstly, there is a really interesting experiment for you all. So now if you are hearing this, the conversation that I'm having with you all today, what you will have to do is you will have to close your fist. Okay, so I hope you all are closing your fist. I cannot see you. Yeah, it's a virtual video, screen share. So I would want you all to perform this. Okay, so here, girls, as you will close your fist tightly, and and you will bend your arm at the elbow. So when you're bending your arm and you're closing your fist tightly while bending the arm near, at the elbow, what you will feel is, during, if you have your brothers or dads who go to gyms and all, they might, when they come home, they usually try to, show their muscles to everyone in the house. Now when you are also checking it out, how they show their muscles, you can see the bulge on their arm when they raise their hand up and when they close their fist tightly. And you can also feel it when you are doing this kind of demonstration on yourself as well. So when you're keeping your arms, sorry, when you're keeping your fingers closed or fist closed tightly, and you're bending your arm at the elbow, what you will feel is there is something hard on your arm. And when you will try to touch it, you will feel that hardness, right? Now, that hardness is not like something which is really, really hard, but that hardness is something that is a part of your body, and that part of your body, the fleshy part that becomes hard enough, that you see when you bend your arm, that is called the muscles. Okay, so the basically whatever the bulge that you are touching on your arm is the muscle that you are feeling up in your arm. Now, as you bended your arm and it you saw that bulge and all, what you actually observed was that the muscle which is present in the upper side of your arm contracted. Now, in this way, muscles function. So, muscles contract and relax. They contract, they shrink, and they relax. They come back to their original shape. And because of this, we can move different parts of our body. Okay. Now muscles also have various different functions apart from contracting and relaxing and able to, make us move or do some work or, you know talk or write something. All of these is depending upon the muscles which are there on our body. So muscles also give a very definite shape and posture to our body. So you might have seen, the guys who go to gym, they have huge shoulders as compared to, girls or women. They have huge shoulders, they have huge bulgy arms. Now why is that? Because their muscles grow, and that muscles grow in a specific way. So when those muscles grow, they create a definite shape or a specific shape and posture to the body. Similarly, when I talk about girls going to gym, nowadays girls also do go to gym, right? Eventually their muscles also become somewhat like something that, makes their body or makes the body appear in a specific shape. So what are muscles actually? Muscles are basically bundles of fibers. Okay, so there are tiny fibers which come together and collect to form a bundle, and that bundle of fibers are called muscles. Okay, now these muscles contract and relax as and when it is required. Okay, so I hope you all understood the introduction of the muscular system. Now we will move ahead and go into the depth of how muscles work and what are the types of different muscles. Okay, so here girls, as you can see, it is written that what is the mutual relationship between muscles and bones. Now we talked about muscles, we got an idea how muscles work, they contract and relax. Now when you did the demonstration of bending your arm, you might have noticed that it is not just the muscles that are working, it is also the bones that are there which move. Am I right? So, what is the relation between them? What is the relationship between the muscles and the bones? And this relationship, we will, as and when we will go ahead, we will study it into detail. Okay. So, here, as you can see, girls, in this picture over here, it is there in your textbook. I hope you are with sitting with your textbooks. So, as I was saying, girls, in this picture, as you can see, there is relaxation of muscles, meaning if your hand is downwards and if you're not moving it, you're just closing your fist, as you can see over here. The fist of the this hand, as you can see, is closed. Now that means the bulgy muscle which you see on your hand or your arm is relaxed. So that means that this is the relaxation of muscles that is happening. Okay, now come to the next picture over here. Now this is the arm of a person who is lifting up some weight. Okay, now as that person is lifting up weight, what is happening? That there is contraction, meaning the muscles are shrinking, girls. Can you see over here? The muscles which were once relaxed now got contracted, right? So now girls, we will study how a bone works with muscles. Okay, now in this picture, as you can see, girls, muscles are attached to bones. Now how they are attached to bones? They are attached to bones with the help of tendons. Now tendons are basically, you can call them a cartilage, or a kind of a muscle which connects the actual muscle with the bone. Okay, those are called as tendons. So what is the function of tendons? The function of tendons is to attach the bone, as you can see over here, to the muscles. Okay, now when a muscle contracts, as you can see, there is movement, right? The man is lifting up the weight, and the bones are moving nearer to the muscle, as you can see. Okay, so either this bone will move near to the muscle, or this bone will move away from the muscle. This bone I'm talking about. Okay, so what happens, girls, is when the muscles contract. Okay, so the muscles are basically contracting. So as you can see, this bone is getting moved. Now how it is moving? It is moving near to the muscles. So it can be a case wherein, a muscle is moving, it is contracting, and the bone is moving away from the muscle. That in that case as well, contraction might occur. Okay, so contraction occurs, and because of this contraction that happens in the muscles, there is either movement of the bone nearer to the muscle or away from the muscle. Okay, now why it is important, why why muscles are so important to carry out any function? The reason is, muscles are very very necessary for carrying out various kinds of movements. So even if you are sitting and typing or writing, or you are using your mobile phones, muscles play a huge important role in any kind of function that your body is doing. So let's say when you are blinking your eyes, so what happens that time? You might have noticed that you blink even while you talk. So that is something that you cannot control, and that blinking of the eyes is happening because of what? It is happening because of the muscles which are present in your eyelids. Now that is a function which is not so, it does not require that much of a strength to carry out the function of blinking, right? You can blink anytime you all want. So right now also you might be noticing and blinking many times because I'm here talking about blinking. Okay, so the thing here, girls, you have to understand that from smaller functions to huge functions of the body, muscles play a very important role. So your eyelids are moving, it is blinking, your eyes are blinking. And when we talk about you know some kind of action which requires strength, so let's say I am saying you that you are picking up a huge box or a heavy box from the floor, and you're trying to keep it on a table. Now that is requiring a lot of strength, right? Now who is doing that? Who is giving you that strength to pick up that box and keep it on the table? That is a function, that is the function of the muscles. So from smaller functions to larger or huge huge strength functions, muscles play a very important role. So if a man, let's say if a man is chopping a wood with an axe, that action also requires a great amount of strength. Now that strength is coming from the muscles as well. Okay, so we use muscles in our day-to-day life, like without that we cannot even move. So the function of our muscles are important, and we use that function in various kinds of movements, like talking. The way I'm talking to you right now, I'm also using the muscles of my cheeks to talk to you. Then my lips are also moving, then my tongue is also moving when I'm talking to you. So talking, laughing, walking, jumping, throwing, blinking, etc., etc. All of these things contribute to one single thing, that is the movement of muscles. Okay, I hope you all understood the concept of muscles and how they work. So let us move ahead. So can you answer to this question, girls? Which part of our body are made up of only muscles, or which parts of a body are made up of only of muscles? So can you answer to this question, girls? Just think. I hope you all are unable to answer it. Let us see what is the answer to this question. If it is not here when I'm explaining you right now, you go to Google, type it down and find out the answer. Okay, that is your homework. So let us move ahead. So we will go point wise, girls. We will study one point of the thing that I have written over here. Okay, so there are more than 600 muscles in the human body. Can you imagine that? More than 600 muscles are there in a human body. Now, these muscles which are there in the human body contribute around 40% of the weight of a adult human body. So when we say adult human body, that basically means the body of a person who is an adult. Like, let's talk about your mother or father. So the muscles which are present in their bodies contribute about 40% of the total body weight. Now, having 600 muscles in the human body is one thing, and out of those 600 muscles, 30 muscles are present in the human face. So you can imagine now, girls, where are these muscles present in the face and at which part? Like I was saying, that I'm talking to you, my muscles of the cheek are moving. Now my lips are moving. So everything contribute to the 30 muscles which are present in the human face. Now, talking about our eyes, mouth, and nose, now all of these parts of the face are encircled. By the word encircled, it means that they are surrounded by small little muscles. So with the help of those smaller muscles, my eyes are blinking, my mouth is moving, my nose is breathing. So there are small muscles which are surrounding each part of the organs that are mentioned over here. So when I talk about eyes, mouth, or nose, there are small muscles surrounding them. Now, when we feel happy, or when we feel sad, or when we see something like, a ghost or something, which you usually feel, scared of when you sleep alone at night, which might not happen because you're so scared that you want your mama to sleep next to you, right? So, the expressions like happiness or sadness or fear, these are all expressed by the movements of muscles of the face. Now, when I say happiness, happiness means you will start laughing. Okay, girls, now you can laugh. So, when you are laughing, as you can see, or even when you smile, you can feel your cheeks getting lifted up and your lips moving, or your lips gets broader. So that is an expression of happiness. Similarly, when you're sad or you feel like crying, your expression is being expressed by the muscles which are there on the face. Even when you're scared or shocked, that time also the muscles of the face play a important part. Now, are there is a question over here which says, are the muscles of the different organs in our body identical? So when I say the muscles of heart will be similar to the muscles of the stomach, is it true? Identical means similar, that they are similar to each other, they are same. So do you think that the muscles of the stomach or the muscles of the intestine or the muscles of the heart are going to be similar? You will have to find the answer to this question. Okay. Now we will see what types of muscles do we have. So there are two major types of muscles. Firstly, voluntary muscles, and secondly, involuntary muscles. So first we will study about the voluntary muscles. Okay, so voluntary muscles are basically the muscles when we, but firstly I will explain you the term, voluntary. Voluntary, the meaning of the word voluntary is that something you are doing by your own will, that you want to do the task and you are doing it. So voluntary muscles are those muscles which work when you want it to work. So let's say when I'm saying you to write something down and you're writing it, that means you are saying your hand that you have to write now. When you are hungry and you want to eat something, what you do? You go to a fridge, find something over there, grab it, open it, and start eating. Now, who is saying your hand to eat? That is the voluntary muscles that are working. Similarly, when I talk about walking or jumping or running, all of these functions are being performed by the help of the voluntary muscles. So these functions that are being performed by the voluntary muscles are those functions that depend upon your will. You are saying the muscles that you want to eat. So just move your hand, go into a box, a packet of chips, grab it and shove it in your mouth. That means your muscles are working by your own will. Okay, so as I told you, the muscles of your arms and legs, which tell which has voluntary muscles, and they perform functions that you tell them to. That is, you want to run, you want to eat, you want to hold something, etc., etc. Okay, now we will study about involuntary muscles. So when I say involuntary, the word involuntary can make you understand, girls, that involuntary muscles are those muscles basically. These kinds of muscles cannot work with your will. Okay, so involuntary muscles basically do not depend upon your will. So those muscles work without your will. Even if you don't want to, that function will be performed by the body itself. Okay, now the processes like, say, breathing or digestion or blood circulation or any important function or vital function that that is essential for our body is happening because of the muscles that are involuntary or involuntary muscles. Now, as I told you, they do not depend upon our will. They perform according to the needs of the body. Okay, now the muscles of the organs, when I say about when digestion is happening or when blood circulation is happening, now when these organs carry out involuntary functions, and such involuntary functions which are happening are because of the involuntary muscles. Okay, so the muscles of the organs which carry out these involuntary functions are called involuntary muscles. So as I told you, the function of digestion or blood circulation, so which organs are involved into that? You have your stomach, you have intestine, you have heart, etc., and they have muscles which are involuntary muscles, and hence they perform functions which doesn't depend upon our will, and but they are vital for the body. Okay, now girls, we will move ahead in our next class. We will end over here. Okay, so girls, we will continue with this chapter in our next class. Okay, but before going, I would want you all to find out the answer to this question. So this question over here says, which organs in our body have voluntary muscles and which ones have involuntary muscles? So you have to find out what are the organs that are present in our body that are having voluntary muscles, and which are the organs that are having involuntary muscles. Okay, so you have to find out the organs which are having either voluntary muscles or involuntary muscles, and you have to find it out and make a list of it. Okay, by this girls, we come to the end of today's lesson. We will meet in our next class. Until then, take care and be safe. Thank you.